iglesia ni Manalo na Diablo na nagsasabing iglesia daw ni Kristo. Itong si Marcoleta ay talagang demonyo din na katulad po ni Kibuloy. Paano ko nasabi? Mamaya po papaliwanag ko sa inyo kung gaano po kademonyo yung itong malaking mata na masasabi mo talagang Diablo rin katulad ni Kibulok.
Ito na nga, mga aso ni Tamba na kahol ng kahol kay Congressman Rodante Marcoleta nakatanggap ng banat sa congressman. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Pinatawag nga sa TRICOM ang mga aso ni Tamba na tumitira kay Marcoleta matapos magkakakahulang mga ito sa social media at nagkakalat ng mga diwastong impormasyon. Mga nagkalat na aso ni Tamba, pinalaga ni Marcoleta. Narito ang buong detalye.
45 seconds.
45 seconds or 45 minutes?
Seconds.
What is the content of the video?
It's about providing context to what Chair Joboy Aquino said, false narratives and false information.
Ano bang pwedeng ready dyan? What video is ready? Yung kay Marcoleta o yung sa presentation natin? May problema yung presentation natin. Okay na ba?
Yung mic po hindi naka-on kanina.
Ito.
Anyway, while they are preparing the presentations, the discussions on this hearing will be focused on several issues. 1, vloggers. 2, social media platforms, platform policies and enforcement, algorithms and content moderation, fact-checking program, process of taking down posts, advertising and monetization. Number 3, independent media organizations, involvement in fact-checking initiatives like Check.Philippines, database of fake posts and peddlers, engagement with the public, key insights and experience. And the government agencies, if they will have any presentation or statement, NBI, DICT, BIR, AMLAC, PNP, COMELEC, and PCO, of course. And number 5, I don't know if we have celebrities here, but celebrities who are victims of fake news, and then afterwards we'll proceed to the interpellation. Okay na ba ang presentation?
Mr. Chair,
Representative Abante.
if we don't have the presentation yet, I don't think that we have already recognized all of the resource speakers. We would like to ask that all of them be recognized today.
Is there anyone from the resource persons that have not been acknowledged? Yeah, can you take the microphone and then introduce yourself, please?
Magandang umaga po. Ako po si Mary Jean Kiambao Reyes or MJ Kiambao po sa Facebook.
Good morning po, Mr. Chair. Si Aaron Peña po, Old School Pinoy po. Thank you po.
Meron pa bang iba? Wala na?
Rina Seco po, for Manila Broadcasting Company.
Okay. Yes. Please recognize yourself.
Mark Gamboa po.
From?
Vlogger po.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I remember also the committee committed during the last hearing that I attended that we will also invite representatives from Philippine Inquirer and Philippine Star because of the issue that I raised. I raised then the issue that we are not only concerned with the fake news and the false narratives and false information being peddled in our society, but we are concerned as well with the truth that are being suppressed. Truth that might have given enlightenment and further information for our people, but they were deliberately and intentionally being suppressed for reasons that they themselves know. This is also alarming as well, Mr. Chair. So, I was promised by the committee last time that in the next hearing, representatives from these two giant broadsheets will also be invited to shed light on the
Representative
information that
Marcoleta,
is...
according to the COMSEC, the representatives from Philippine Daily Inquirer and ano yung isa? Philippine Star
Yes, Mr. Chair.
were present during the last hearing. However, accordingly, there were no members who asked questions to them. So, is there any representative from Inquirer and Philippine Star at the moment? Wala. So then maybe we can invite them next time. We did not include them anymore today because they were already present during the last hearing.
Does that follow, Mr. Chair, that because nobody questioned them in the last hearing, they can simply absent themselves today?
We required them to attend the last hearing. And now, we have invited other resource persons. May I inquire from the COMSEC, were they invited today? So that we will be fair? According to COMSEC, Congressman Marcoleta, the Philippine Daily Inquirer and Philippine Star were not invited.
So we know the reason why they were not invited today, Madam Chair. The COMSEC has the liberty to decide on this, or the chairperson are the ones who are authorized to decide on whether to invite people or not.
Kong Marcoleta, you know the process. For every hearing, we have a set of resource persons to be invited.
I know that, Mr. Chair.
Yun ang
What I'm saying is, there was a commitment.
It is already very clear that they were not invited today. Because, to be fair with them, they were present during the last hearing and nobody asked questions. Kaya nga, hindi na sila inibita because we are focusing on other resource persons.
Kaya nga po, yun ang gusto kong itanong.
If that would be the case, if you would like to really insist, then we will invite them. Or if you want, if you can wait, we will call them and have them come here to send a representative. But let's not make this an issue. This will delay the hearing.
I am
Concept,
not
can you
making
please,
this an issue, Mr. Chair.
please-
I am simply asking kung sakali pong hindi sila
Hindi nga natin
natanong.
na-imbita, Congressman Marcoleta. I'm
Yun lang
sorry
po,
to
why
say.
would the COMSEC decide by themselves? Sana po yung chair ang magdi-decide. Yun lang naman po ang punto. The
They will-
COMSEC cannot decide on who to invite or who cannot be invited. And chair po ang may prerogative.
It was a prerogative of the chairman not to invite them because they were not asked questions already. In fairness to them, they were diligent in attending the previous hearing, but unfortunately, nobody asked them a question. So it would be redundant to ask them to be present here again. So may I now proceed, Mr. Marcoleta, to other matters.
May I ask that the short video, Mr. Chair, be shown because that will provide context already.
In that case, COMSEC, please.
Ng Iglesia ni Manalo. Iglesia ni Manalo na Diablo na nagsasabing iglesia daw ni Kristo. Itong si Marcoleta ay talagang demonyo din na katulad po ni Kibuloy. Paano ko nasabi? Mamaya po papaliwanag ko sa inyo kung gaano po kademonyo yung putang inang Marcoletang ito. Itong malaking matang itong diputang ito na masasabi mo talagang Diablo rin katulad ni Kibulok.
Mr. Chair, yung vlogger na yan, ang pangalan niya sa social media is Epifanio Labrador. Hindi ko po siya kilala. Narinig po ninyo kung murahin niya yung aking relihiyon na kinabibilangan. At pati po ako pinagmumuran niya, tinawag po niya akong demonyo, lahat. Pero hindi po ako kumikibo. Ang sinasabi ko lang, kung tayo talaga ay i-address po natin ang mga ganitong klaseng paninira na mga narratives, ay siguro po pati itong mga ganitong klaseng tao ay may patawag din natin. Ako po, kahit na po ano pang sabihin nila, I will just stay as I am. As transparent and as accountable as I am. Because right now, what we need are people that can probably criticize us to the height of even abusing their rights. Pero ako po, walang problema sa kanila. Ay darating din po ang panahon that these people will be rendered useless at wala nang maniniwala sa kanila until time will come na masasabi ng tao that they are stupid, useless people and they are simply liars. Tayo po ang ating role lang basta ayusin lang po natin ang ating pagsisilbi. Kahit ano pong sabihin nila sa atin. Tingnan po niyo yung pagmumura nila sa akin. Wala naman po akong hindi ko po nga kilala yan Kung murahin niya po ako, parang kayo po, narinig po ninyo lahat kung anong pinagsasabi niya. But people, I think, will not believe him. Dahil hindi po ako yun, yung sinasabihan niya. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
That is precisely the objective of this hearing, Representative Marcoleta. So, are you requesting that Mr. Epipanio be called to be invited for the next hearing?
By all means, Mr. Chair, I will thank you for that.
Comsec, please take note. The said person that has been mentioned earlier by Representative Marcoleta will be invited for the next hearing. Before we proceed, may I acknowledge the presence online of Representative Mix Villaferte, Representative Sandro Gonzales. And finally, can we now present the committee video presentation? May I acknowledge the presence of Honorable Ernesto Junicio. We will now proceed with the interpellation. First on the list, Representative Dante Marcoleta. You have the floor.
Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair. What I would like to say is not an interpellation. Maybe I will just make a very general manifestation, Mr. Chair, because up to now, I am not yet sure how how can we address this looming problem that the country faces in relation to fake news and deep fakes, false narratives and false information in the face of certain gold standard set by our Supreme Court. This gold standard, Mr. Chair, came in the form of decisions. May I just cite at least 4 of them, Mr. Chair, for our sake. This concerns the conduct of public men, people in government, and how criticisms can be hurled against them and how should they respond to these criticisms. I think these are very important standards, Mr. Chair, in the wake of our desire to probably make laws in relation to free speech. The first one, Mr. Chair, is the case of Yabut versus Office of the Ombudsman, 303 Philippines 319. And I quote this: a public official, more especially an elected one, should not be onion-skinned. Strict personal discipline is expected of an occupant of a public office because a public official is a property of the public. He is looked upon to set the example how public officials should correctly conduct themselves, even in the face of extreme provocation. The second standard, or the second case that reiterates this standard, Mr. Chair, is United States versus Bustos, 37 Philippines 731. And I quote this: the interest of society and the maintenance of good government demand a full discussion of public affairs, complete liberty to comment on the conduct of public men is a scalpel in the case of free speech. The sharp incision of its probe relieves the abscesses of officialdom. Men in public life may suffer under a hostile and unjust accusation. The wound can be assuaged with the balm of clear conscience. A public officer must not be too skinned with reference to comment upon his official acts. The third one, Mr. Chair, is Sasson versus CA, 325 Philippines 1053. On this point, the rule is that defamatory remarks and comments on the conduct of acts of public officers which are related to the discharge of their official duties will not constitute libel if the defendant proves the truth of the imputation. And the last one, Mr. Chair, is De Leon versus People 776 Philippines 701. and I quote this, "While petitioners' declarations may be offensive, they are not actionable by themselves. Being sensitive has no place in this line of service, more so when allowing otherwise has the potential to create a chilling effect on the public." Mr. Chair, why am I stressing this gold standard as enunciated by some of the important decisions of the Supreme Court? Because as public men, as public servants, I have cited an example earlier when one blogger attacked me indiscriminately, called me demonyo and all this. My defense to that, Mr. Chair, is not probably to ask him in public to explain or even ask for an apology or he be restrained by this committee, but I will just stand upright, as upright as I can and clean as I am, because people would judge me for what I am and for what this person could do against me. Yun lang po ang nakikita kong parang armas natin. Kapag nakikita nila tayo as transparent as we can to these people, people can easily distinguish na wala yan, sinungaling yan. Like, yun lang ang gusto kong maging karanasan ng tao, kahit na siguro hindi ko na siya demanda o pagalitan o gumawa ng action against him. It is enough that people would not listen to him anymore. That he will be rendered useless and people would just judge him as, you know, as a liar, somebody who peddles something that cannot be accepted by people. To me, that is already a consolation, Mr. Chair. So kung ating pong mga vloggers ay maaring napapasobra po yung kanilang pagkikriticize sa atin, talaga kung minsan po ay ganon. We have to strike a balance between the public affairs, between the public issues that must be deliberated completely and in the light of an extensive discussion of public affairs of government. You have to strike a balance between the importance of these issues discussed in public and the hostile accusation that might arise from this. Yun po yung gusto ko po. May mga batas naman po tayo once they attack us on a private side. Ang sinasabi po ito very, very easily. That could constitute libel pagka-personal na po. Kagaya po nung tinawag niya po akong demonyo, okay, yun na po yung personal na po yun. It's up to me to act kung gagamitin ko pa po yun. Pero sa akin po ay parang ano na lang yun. Katulad po nung nakaraan na pagdinig po, hindi ko makalimutan, isang abogado pa naman yun na nagbablog po na sinabi niya na huwag kayong maniwala sa pakulo at panliling lang ni Marcoleta. You were here, Mr. Chair and members, nung tanungin ko po siya, ano po ba po yung basihan ninyo na ako po'y nandin lang. Wala po siyang maisagot ng kahit ano. He is a lawyer and he was allegedly teaching in a very reputable law school. So yun po, Mr. Chair, pwede ko po siyang demanda ng pwede ko po siyang padisbar. No? Iniisip ko lang po na pwede kong gawin yun because as a lawyer, ay maling-mali po yung ginawa niya because we have our own code na talaga pong pinagsisikapan naming itaguyod sa mga members po ng Philippine Bar. So, meron po tayong mga batas na umiiral, Mr. Chair. May libel, ando na po yung maring madisbar po yung mga kamukha namin na members ng Philippine Bar na nasosobrahan na po yung sinasabi nila. Pero sa mga vloggers po na maaaring kinikriticize tayo because our conduct is public. Yung pagsisilbi natin is public. They need some kind of a medium. Nakikita po nila tayo that we should be as transparent and accountable as we can be. Sa akin po ay binibigay ko na lang pong isang karapatan para sa kanila. Wag lang po sana yung sumobra po na maging personal na po ang mga pangyayari. Maraming salamat po, Mr. Chair.
Paalala lang po sa lahat, Pakilapit po yung mikropono dahil may problema tayo sa audio. Medyo mahina po. The next to interpolate, Representative Rods Gutierrez. You have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I understand we have quite a lot of topics to discuss today. And first of all, I'd like to express my gratitude to our resource persons for attending after this whole time that they have not, no? Although we have to recall that twofold po yung privileged speech ni Congressman Barbers. On one hand, we have the proliferation of fake news of the bloggers na binabanggit, and I'm sure we'll be getting to that at a later time. But one thing that we'd like to discuss is also that might have been forgotten is the other privileged speech of the Honorable Barbers regarding fake news in China. So this is something that we wanted to highlight in the previous hearings. However, wala po yung the social media platform most involved. Luckily today, we'd like to thank them for their appearance. Nandito po yung ByteDance, owners of TikTok. So we could now discuss this issue thoroughly. To begin po, I'd like to direct my questions to the good spokesperson to Coast Guard, Commodore Tariela. Commodore Tariela, magandang umaga po sa inyo. Good afternoon na pala po. Good noon. Sir, meron po kasi earlier this month to the Honorable Chairman, kumakalat na post sa Chinese social media platforms. And instead of just limiting yung discussions of West Philippine Sea, parang expanded na po yung kanilang claim. Lately, their claim now is that nagsasabi na ang China ay nagmamay-ari at namamahala sa Palawan for a period of 1,000 years sa Zhenghe Island. Ito rin daw yung basis for the island to return to China. Are you aware po, sir, of this post in relation to yung West Philippine Sea issue natin?
Mr. Chair?
Yes.